Life feels so fragile that when foster brings everlasting grief. She sits there quietly watching as the pattern of her life repeats. Doesn't wanna see the minds will fall, the only hope she has left. Her hope cannot find peace inside, so she's yearning for death. Felt the pleas in her voice when she asked you to stay. Trying to picture how she's feeling as you're walking away. Regretting that you never told her what you needed to say. Regretting that you never told her what you needed to say. Drowning in a sense of loneliness, feeling fear and hesitation when those walls are pressed. Cause every time you open up it feels you're paying a price. Tired of others taking advantage of your body and life. It feels like who you are mustn't be worth the things. You're treated as a tool for sex, not a full human being. It's maybe invisible to others, but for you it's always in your mind. And every day you wake up and when you go to sleep, that you're not a person but a device for others' pleasure. Society holds the chains of your entangled fetters, and they pull you under deeper into the sea of your guilt. As you go deeper into this pit under the pressure you wilt, you couldn't build enough courage to tell your story to them. You muttered but you couldn't speak till you feel you fell victim, and when you broke it fell apart. There wasn't any support system. There were only a couple of pairs of hands and they were too far to reach them. Your voice was locked away as this world of darkness swallowed you whole, wishing as freely as your blood your tears once more could flow. But instead of the knife you held to end all of the torture you chose, lyrics that could convey all the pain you hold in your soul. They speak about the picture sketched upon the page that deceived a young child into thinking it was her fault. She believed the problem was with her. She wanted and deserved the abuse. She felt it wasn't true, but it was the only notion she could get to with the little that she had to pull together her thought. Those eyes drenched in frustration glaring at her, she fought but couldn't satisfy what those eyes were asking her to do. Cause what they wanted from her was for her to tell her truth, and so her nightmares were filled with that look from her mother, and filled the brim of her eyes with tears that'll never spill over. What the child saw that stuck into her head to this day is the image of her mother mentally walking away. Life is so fragile that when foster brings everlasting grief. She sits there quietly watching as the pattern of her life repeats. Doesn't wanna see the minds will fall, the only hope she has left. Her hope cannot find peace inside, so she's yearning for death. Felt the pleas in her voice when she begged you to stay. Trying to picture how she's feeling as you're walking away. Regretting that you didn't tell her what you needed to say. Regretting that you didn't tell her what you needed to say. Boiling, ravaging deeply inside of me. This hatred curdles my blood and I'm dying under the heat. It feels like go insane if I had no release. I pressed the glass against my skin for a moment of relief. The glass that broke when he had struck me with the weight of his fist. The pain I feel blends with the rage as it pours from my wrist. I know the relief is only momentary, but I cannot continue to exist. Nor would I be able to deal with it if it wasn't for this. Those thoughts repeated in her mind when she showed them to me. The scars that were left behind from anger at being beat. I stood there staring at the scars, a million thoughts in my head. I only wanted to kiss away all of the tears that she bled, wondering if it's possible that I could take it away, and I could be her harbor and with these hands hold all of her pain, and find a way to prove her cries for help were not all in vain. But in the system not built for the child, what could I have said? And so instead of words that could make her loneliness fade, I was too afraid, so I just mentally walked away. A while later met another girl with similar scars, but this time I knew to just hold her tight in my arms. And when she said she was afraid that she'd no longer be thin, I remember when I struggled with myself not to suck it in, cause I was afraid of a pudge that I knew wasn't there. But my mind was so twisted and skewed that I couldn't see clear. Took a while for me to learn to be proud of these words that are in my diary, screaming aloud, hoping that even if it's something I was too scared to speak, towards a hand that I understand maybe these lyrics could reach. I only feel the courage to repeat this up on a stage, cause I know every woman in this world could share a page, and in order for one to win and struggle, they must overcome their fears. I'm breaking down all the walls so I can be seen crystal clear. Life is so fragile that when foster brings everlasting grief. She sits there quietly watching as the pattern of her life repeats. She doesn't want to see the minds will fall, the only hope she has left. Her hope cannot find peace inside, so she's yearning for death. Felt the pleas in her voice when she asked you to stay. Trying to picture how she's feeling as you're walking away. Regretting that you never told her what you needed to say. Regretting that you never told her what you needed to say. Life feels so fragile that when foster brings everlasting grief. She sits there quietly watching as the pattern of her life repeats. She doesn't want to see the minds before, the only hope she has left. Her hope cannot find peace inside, so she's yearning for death. You felt the pleas in her voice when she begged you to stay. Trying to picture how she's feeling as you're walking away. Regretting that you didn't tell her what you needed to say. That in all honesty you understand and you feel the same.